This is as far as I'm willing to go in these rocks here. Any further out towards the edge and I don't feel safe. This is a place where if you go off the edge, you die. Ugh. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. 1 year ago, I came out to this area. The locals call it the Devil's Throne. While I was out here, I did have some strange experiences. Now, I highly recommend that you check out that first episode, not only to see the experiences that I had, but to hear a little bit about the history of this place. 1 year later, folks, I am back. As far as the conditions go today, it's quite chilly. We're looking at 37 degrees Fahrenheit. The forest is soaking wet, and that's because it's been raining all morning. More rain is on the way. At the moment, at least, it's not raining. Yes, that means I can hike this trail without my rain pants on. That's a win. With the trip that took place a year ago, that was a wild adventure, folks. First off, everything was flooded. It was storming the entire time. Water was just racing down this trail here. And as I was hiking up this mountain here, I started hearing footsteps. Something was behind me and following me. As I hiked up the mountain here, it continued to follow. Once I got to the top, I didn't hear it anymore. But as soon as I started back on the trail to go back, it was there with me. And it followed me all the way down to the parking lot. Speaking of the parking lot, it's not much of one. More than anything, it's a pull-off on the side of the road, out in the middle of nowhere. We are easily 30, 40 miles away from any town, any city. If you were to ask me what I thought was following me, because I never did see it, I ran towards it, again, never saw it. I suspect it was a black bear. Ultimately though, I have no idea. Now, of course, some people believed it was Bigfoot that was following me. Was it Bigfoot? I have no idea, but I will tell you this. Once I got home, I researched this area some more, and there are in fact Bigfoot sightings out here. I have also found some interesting stories concerning this area that tie back to the Devil Throne's name. Once I get up here to the top and we make lunch, I'll tell you about the stories that I've read. They are quite interesting. I could have swore I heard like a screaming sort of sound. It happened twice from over here somewhere. There are no trails out this way. There's absolutely nothing. There it is again. I have no idea what that is. It does not sound like a bobcat. It doesn't sound human either. It sounds weird. I walked back to film a walk past scene. Something is in the woods. I can hear it making footsteps and leaves far off. I have no idea. Unfortunately, we have a storm around us somewhere, So I'm hearing thunder. I heard that screaming sound twice. I heard some footsteps, but now the storm is approaching. I'm hearing that instead of that. You know what I mean? Something is out there walking. Anytime that I'm out on a trip, far from home, far from other people, people ask me if I ever get scared or concerned, especially when something weird is happening. The answer is no. Just because I can't explain it doesn't mean a whole lot. Oftentimes, what we find so scary is all in here. Without a doubt though, I'm intrigued. As an update, we continue to go up. This trail is not oftenly used, so it's not really all that well maintained. At times, it's almost like bushwhacking. Again, everybody, we are being followed. There is something in the woods. The odds of it being a bear, it's likely, but what are the chances of that happening twice? A year ago and today? I don't know. This is a very steep trail. Virtually no flat, all just straight uphill. As I'm taking a breather here, the rain is coming in. It's light, but it's coming down. I hear it, but I don't see it. So far, the rain is light enough, and there's enough of a canopy here that I don't have to put on my rain pants. I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. Yes, I would be dry from the rain, but I would get wet with sweat. It's a trade-off. Just in case you're a first timer to this channel and you don't know this, I am a Bigfoot skeptic, a paranormal skeptic. I'm a skeptic of all of that stuff. I'm a skeptic, but I have an open mind. I'm willing to take a look at any real evidence, such as with Bigfoot, but do not send me a picture zoomed in 5,000% on some black blob and tell me that's Bigfoot, because it's not. As I'm walking on this trail here, I'm looking for tracks. Human tracks, animal tracks, any type of track. And so far, I've seen nothing. What I find interesting about this, I mean, there's no deer tracks. And let me tell you all, there's a huge deer population here. Animals in the forest will take the path of least resistance, which is a trail. These rocks are so slick. We really have to be careful here, folks. We have basically made it out to the top, and it's beautiful, but at the same time, it's dangerous. This is as far as I'm willing to go on these rocks here. Any further out towards the edge and I don't feel safe. This is a place where if you go off the edge, you die. You know, everybody, with it being springtime, it's already beginning to warm up. It will not be long before the snakes are out on these rocks. During the day, the sun warms up the rocks. The snakes will come out, lay on the rocks, and basically keep themselves warm, even when it's quite cool. In this area, I can tell you all, there are some big snakes. Some really big timber rattlesnakes. And of course, copperheads and all that stuff. Here in the mountains, unfortunately, people falling off, sliding off rocks like this is very common. It usually happens every year, a few times. Very sad indeed. To get to the Devil's Throne, we have to come out here. And we have to go over here and then wrap around underneath these rocks. This is not the location to mess up at. One false step, you go down here and you're dead. Now that I've undone the lid for this backpack, on the inside here you can see this bag and also this one. This is a tarp, this is a cordage kit with some stakes. I wasn't sure if I was going to need these or not, but the thing is, I had these at quick access. So below this, I have a dry bag, and this dry bag is protecting everything inside of this backpack. This backpack is highly water resistant, but with this dry bag, it's even more so. The reason that I have those two items outside of the dry bag is for quick access. If I have to set up the tarp in the rain, I simply open up the backpack and those two items are ready to go. I don't have to introduce water to my main kit. That is something to consider the next time you're out for a rain trip. For lunch, my friends, we have chipotle beef burrito bowl, and I also have some chips to throw in it. As it stands, it's chilly. That's why I put my down jacket on. The humidity is like 100%, so every bit of that moisture is just going like right into your hands, right into your bones. But at the same time, it is beautiful up here. I'm hearing thunder far off in the distance somewhere. Yeah, this is a nice place to be. We have our coffee made. Cheers, everyone. I'm sure it's nasty. Let's find out. Oh yeah, that's nasty, all right. As I'm sitting here, I'm staring at these rocks stacked on top of each other in front of me, and all that I can think about are rattlesnakes. I guarantee out here somewhere with all of these rocks, there's a rattlesnake den. Right now, you have a whole bunch of rattlesnakes laying on top of each other, staying warm. They're awake though. We have already had a few days that have hit 70 degrees. 70 degrees and up, that's their jam. That's their temperature, they love it. So they're definitely awake. Luckily, today, it's in the mid 30s right now, something like that. It's definitely chilly, so they're not going to be coming out. But like I said, they are out here. That is freaking amazing. That is from Pinnacle Foods Chipotle Beef Burrito Bowl. This is like being at a Mexican restaurant. I kid you not. That is freaking awesome. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it is raining out there. It's raining enough where it's now dripping off the rocks. Luckily, where we're at here, we are sheltered from the wind. Not that it's terribly windy out there. Interestingly enough, there is a high wind warning in effect right now. I'm not sure why, I'm not sure where it's windy at, but it's not here. As far as the elevation goes, we are at 3,218 feet. According to the watch here, 39 degrees, 100% humidity, and it is 2 o'clock. This is amazing. I will have to tell Susie that I was wrong about this. She actually picked this out for me and I was like, that doesn't sound too good. I was wrong. This is freaking awesome. It is pouring out there now. We will have to be especially careful when we leave here. That one section right there is gonna be slick. This really is a cool spot. I mean, we're fully protected from the elements. Now, unfortunately, you really can't camp here. Like, it's dry-ish right now, but in heavy rain, this does flood. All of the water pouring off the top of the rocks, it comes down and basically creates a river through here. There really is no good option to stay here. Now, I tell you what, folks, I'll tell you all a little bit about what I read concerning this area. First, with the Bigfoot stories, there are a ton of them. Nothing recent that I've seen. I think the last one was 2015. Most of the reports that I've seen out here dealt with seeing a large black creature. The interesting note was that the creature had black eyes. That ties into the history of this area and what I've been able to uncover about the Devil's Throne. Apparently, the Cherokee believed that there was a witch that lived up here on top of this mountain, and the witch had black eyes. That's somewhat interesting. That does go hand in hand with like the being that was seen out here, the Bigfoot thing or whatever you want to call it. I personally find that to be rather intriguing. What about you all? To this day, there have been paranormal activity recorded up here. I've seen numerous reports where people stated that when standing on the cliff up here, it felt like someone kind of pushes them towards the edge. After the Cherokee Indians moved out of the area, the folklore continued. And according to what I've been able to uncover, the witch with the black eyes, she roams the forest up here. And as you're hiking the trail, it will feel like someone is watching you. You may even get the feeling that someone is following you, which is, again, somewhat interesting since I've had that experience twice. On a lighter note, I did receive an email from a very nice individual. He was concerned that I've been putting my cell phone in my pocket here next to my heart. He thought that was a bad idea. I don't know, folks. Having that phone up here, in my opinion, is better than having it down there. You know what I mean? If it's going to cause cancer in here, I'm okay with that, right? It's better than the alternative. This is where we have to be very, very careful at. This point on, it is going to be very, very slick. tell you one thing, this rain is cold. It's about 37, 35 degrees, something like that. And this rain here is chilly. That was close. I told you all, this is slick. I'm going down as slowly and as carefully as possible, and yet that still happened. Whew. I had some momentum there. Oh boy. It has been raining really, really hard. As you all can see here, the trail is flooded. That thunderstorm that hit earlier dropped a lot of rain apparently. I need to pick up my pace just a little bit, warm up. My hands are ice cold. I do have some gloves with me, and I can put them on, and I will if I need to. It's like that old garbage song, I'm only happy when it rains. I don't hear any footsteps or screaming or anything like that. Not at the moment. I want to thank you very much for joining me for this day trip back to the Devil's Throne. I have certainly had a good time up here, and I hope you all have too. If you were to ask me what's going on up here, I would say, I don't know, to be honest. I've definitely had some strange experiences. Something has followed me. This goes hand in hand with the folklore of this area. I thought I heard something. Not sure what. I don't know. I can't hear anything with that jacket hood on. You know, everybody, I really like this rain jacket with the exception of this collar. Look at this thing. I feel like Count Dracula. It's gigantic. It's obnoxious. That's what it is. As you all can see as I'm going through this trail here, it'll be overgrown in no time. Already, folks, we've dropped about 200 feet in elevation, and this is smooth sailing for the rest of the trip here. As far as the time goes, it's a little bit after 4 o'clock, and it's pretty dark in the forest today. Up there at the rock, it was really dark. That's why I had that light with me. We were basically up in the clouds. I definitely heard footsteps. I don't know if it's in my mind because of what I've read online, but I definitely feel like someone is watching. Check that out. That is a sweet rock overhang. Let's go over to it real quick. That is really nice. It's completely dry in there. If you were looking for a survival shelter, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me for this adventure. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to comment down below and share your thoughts. What do you all think about the Bigfoot stories that come from this area? And what do you all think about the Devil's Throne? And also, what do you think about the story about the witch? Very interesting folklore. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe not. Take care, be well, strength and honor. I'll see you soon.